Namaskar. Welcome to another edition of Navimash podcast. So, as promised yesterday, I promised you that we will have a guest who has done a fair bit amount of research on this demographic change, especially in the international border between West Bengal and Bangladesh, where the border districts have seen a dramatic change in the demography between Hindus and Muslim populations, native populations there. And we had read this book, which you can see that how this illegal immigration from Bangladesh, especially the Bangladeshi Muslims and Rohingya Muslims, are affecting the society, affecting the economy, and also the politics of West Bengal in very adverse manner for last, I think, 10 years. It has been affecting, but not as much. But now it has become a chronic problem which needs to be addressed. So today we have with us Devjani Bhattacharya. She is a columnist, entrepreneur, and a social activist working with many organizations. So namaste and welcome.
Namaste. Namaste.
So, Debjanidhi, first of all, like you have written two articles. So, let me first show you the first article that Debjanidhi has written about the demographic change in the border districts of West Bengal, and how this is a red alert for people of West Bengal and also for the central government in New Delhi. So I'm going to share this article to the audience, and you can just give a walkthrough of why you wrote this article and why it is important that you had to write the article, and we are here talking about this very important issue.
Yes. So this one, right. So this one, you are highlighting that apprehend and Jamaat tsunami, right? Right. So why I wrote these articles? Because Bengal, because this I have crossed on half a century of my life. Okay, and I'm born and brought up in West Bengal, Kolkata. I have walked all over India in major cities of India, but I'm born and brought up here in this state. So I'm seeing this state for quite a long time, but I'm seeing certain changes around us, changes in the social behavior of people and the political behavior of people, and the major change that is happening is in the economy of the state. Like if we walk along, when in our college days, when we walked along Jawaharlal Nehru Road or Park Street, etc., we had excellent, like international um, uh, travel agents offices and the offices of international airlines, and there's so many variety of other enterprises. But right now in Kolkata, if you go to those areas, Esplanade, Park Street, and Jawaharlal Nehru Road, you hardly get to see those particular, no airlines office, no international travel agents office. You get only to see certain apparel shops, certain spas, and certain restaurants. And the quality of restaurants also have fallen. Kolkata has is losing the texture, the cosmopolitan and the cosmopolitan big metro city texture of Kolkata. So all these observations, based on all these observations, I try to find out what could be the root cause of such changes. Why is the economy of Kolkata suffering? Why is the economy of West Bengal suffering? Because if you look at West Bengal, then West Bengal is a state which has all sorts of resources. We have water resource, we have agro resource, we have mineral resources, we have forest resources, we have geographical diversity, we have dirt of nothing. We have a lot of, because there are a lot of rivers also. I mean, we have dirt of no resources and we have excellent human resources. Yet, after that, what is the reason that Bengal is suffering economically? Bengal is not growing. We speak of Bengal doesn't have a port. But we have such a beautiful place in South 24 Parganas. Kakdeep can be a beautiful port area, deep sea port in Kakdeep. But we don't have a port. We have Kolkata port. It is not dredged properly. Why is it? What is the reason that such a beautiful place, such a beautiful state, such a resourceful state is going to dog? So what could be the reasons? And then I started studying the state, and I found out that West Bengal is homing much more number of people than it is claiming to home. Officially, we are homing around a 10 crore population, but we are actually homing much more than that. I mean, if we have the resources for 100 persons, then the same resource is being used by 200 persons. And that is the reason why the state is suffering from poverty, the state's economy is suffering, and everything is suffering. And this extra 100 persons, I mean, the 100%, we have resources for 100 persons and we are accumulating 200 persons. This extra 200 persons are entering our state. In lieu of that, they're paying hefty sum to a particular ecosystem of people. That is the political ecosystem. And the political ecosystem is actually, you know, utilizing the huge open border of the state. The main issue of West Bengal is the state having a huge open border. This is what I'm saying from 2021 election, because another election is coming. After 2021 election, West Bengal witnessed a horrible violence. And then I was asked to, like many people from many states, people started asked me to talk to. And then the main point that I focused is West Bengal is the only state which has a 2,216.17 kilometer long porous border. No other state have that. Even Jammu Kashmir has a 1,222 kilometers long Pakistan border. Only 1,200 kilometers border with Pakistan. West Bengal is a country which is a 2,216.17 kilometer long border with Bangladesh. And mostly porous, mostly open. It's like an open gate. If you keep your gate open, I mean your house, you have a house, you keep the gate of the house open and the door of the house open, automatically people will enter and your resources will get shared. Your resources will not only get shared, will get stolen. Our own public distribution system, food grains are being sent to the other people. It is going to Bangladesh. And these are all known facts documented in the public domain. So we are feeding people of Bangladesh also. And that too not in terms of like official export, in terms of theft and stolen, like our resources are being stolen. So it is pretty obvious that we will be poor. Obviously, poverty will come, and that is the reason why we're poor. We are poor because we are poor, and we're poor because we're letting infiltrators in. That is the major reason why that is the root cause of all problems of West Bengal. And these are the people who are preventing a port in South 24 Parganas. Because South 24 Parganas is a major gateway for infiltrators now. Sundarban district Sundarban, and there are a lot of reports in the public domain. So that now, if you have an infiltration industry, if they would the industry want that let there be a port, they won't want, because if that be there, their infiltration gateway gets stopped and they enter Bengal, and through Bengal they go everywhere else in Bharat. They go everywhere else, and all sorts of. Can you imagine? West Bengal has a large, like a large share of the drug smuggling network of India. West Bengal holds a major share. I mean, maximum number of fentanyl syrup, maximum. West Bengal is the largest trafficker of fentanyl syrup, and not only fentanyl, many other codeine based syrup. West Bengal is the largest supplier. smuggler state. And but in spite of that, West Bengal doesn't have a narcotic advisory committee. Can you imagine this? Why don't we have a narcotic advisory committee? Because of the political ecosystem. The political ecosystem who are running all these industries, all these crime rackets and crime industry. I would say this crime industry is also yielding a lot of money. But this money is not pouring into the mainstream economy of the state. This economy is actually within the grip of a few a particular ecosystem, just like we see in Pakistan. Recently, we have seen Durandar, the film Durandar. So this is a Pakistani system, Pakistani styled economy that is running in West Bengal. So that is the reason why I thought to write these types of articles. I found also a lot of similarities because this time Awami League didn't fight the election. That is good in one way because Awami League didn't fight. So the had Awami League fought the election, then all seats would go to Awami League. We wouldn't understand that where is Jamaat, who is working where. And since Awami League didn't fight the election, so doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani. Now we know that which seats have been won by Bangladesh Nationalist Party and which are the seats which are won by Jamaat-e Islami. And very striking, there's a clear pattern. Jamaat has come absolutely on the border of Bangladesh. It has gone to the on the other side of the border also. It has gone to the Assam border. Near Assam border also there is a seat that has gone to Jamaat. Near Tripura border also there is a seat that has gone to Jamaat. And along the West Bengal border, the full thick band of Jamaat seats. So what is the objective? What could be the objective of that? Nothing else other than infiltration. Why why isn't Jamaat interested in the seats within Bangladesh, deep inside Bangladesh? Why aren't they interested? Why are they interested only on the border seats? Because they're interested in infiltrating. And we have seen Murshidabad, Malda, Muthabari problem, Murshidabad. That is a typicality of Jamaat. Because we know that Jamaat, they have the prime objective of converting people into their faith. That is that is their declared policy. And we have also seen that in Murshidabad recently, last year, April, because Murshidabad people have clearly said that they came and asked us to convert. And not only then, even before, after 2021 election result in West Bengal, the people were crying, the women were crying in front of the governor and in front of the Ministry of Home Affairs fact finding team. They were crying and said that, sir, please save us. If required, we will convert, we will change our religion, but let us leave. That means what? This is Jamaat. Completely, because that is their objective. We know about it. They have written it very clearly that their politics is to convert all into their faith and change the full ecosystem into their own ecosystem. So obviously, we can see from this particular the one that you have shown that can we expect a Jamaat tsunami. In that article, I have highlighted that besides which assembly of West Bengal, which assembly of Bangladesh is situated, and that assembly has been won by which party. That is what I have shown. And if you see that particular table, then you see that when we look at Dinhata, we know Dinhata is a problem area of West Bengal. Every day we talk about Dinhata and the MLA Udayon Guho. Udayon Guho is portrayed to be a person who is very much like who's aggressive. But if we look at the picture of Dinhata is absolutely adjacent to Kurigram 1, Kurigram 2. Both the assemblies have been owned by Jamaat. So it is very clear that there is infiltration from Kurigram to Dinhata. It is a clear case of Jamaat infiltration. I mean, people of Jamaat mindset Again, if you see Mekliganj, recently you can see in Mekliganj there are issues. A little child, a girl, minor girl, had been attacked by a very old man. I mean, 63 years old man of minority community, that he had attacked a little girl of Mekliganj. And here again, Mekliganj is very near to that border, and Mekliganj, the OC of Mekliganj PSC is also belong to minority community. So we can see such patterns. Very clear patterns are available. If you look at all those where I have written, if you see Malda, starting from Habibpur, Malda, English Bazar, Vaishnav Nagar, all these places are adjacent to Chapai Nawabganj. And Chapai Nawabganj has been wholeheartedly voted for. The Chapai Nawabganj has wholeheartedly voted for Jamaat. So Shruti, I mean the same places which had gone for Shamshirganj. We know Shamshirganj Dhulian, the problem that happened in Murshidabad in April, the violence in Dhulian, it is absolutely beside the Chapai Nawabganj and the area of operation for Jamaat. So it is a clear pattern for us. Now you imagine if we look like this, that on this side, on left side there is West Bengal, on right side there is Bangladesh. If the people are actually every day, if infiltration is happening, and if we keep a 450 kilometers or 5,500 kilometers border open, because the state of West Bengal doesn't want to fence that place, they want to keep it open. And if we I mean, why do you want to keep it open? I mean, for what cause other than infiltration? What could be the reason? No other reason. And then if that means what? The people are entering from Bangladesh and uh, getting the hold of this land. Then how shall we be like get the proper hold of our own resources? How can we flourish? And if the Jamaat minded people are entering, then how can we keep our culture also intact? How Bengali culture will be like if my thought process changes. If tomorrow if a person comes and tells me that why aren't you covering your head with hijab and why aren't you wearing burqa, then how can I preserve my cultural existence, cultural identities also? And how shall I like thus the school syllabus will also changes. What shall we learn? What shall we not learn? What are the subject matters that we will focus on? Everything will be like influenced by the infiltrators. So infiltration is the major problem of Bengal. Until and unless that gets solved, no other problem will get solved. That's
Yes.
the major thing.
Yeah, so thank you, Devaniti. I think everybody, I have pinned the article also there in the chat itself. So people who are watching this, please do read the article, because Devaniti has done a lot of research and a lot of hard work to actually exactly get the data right. Because if you see the table here, the Devaniti has mapped the border districts of West Bengal with the border districts which are there on the other side in Bangladesh, and how the Islamist groups, the Islamist group Jamaat-e-Islami, who are known for doing a lot of terrorist activities in India as well, and also within Bangladesh,
Yes.
how they have won majority of seats in the border regions of West Bengal, and how this demography change is a very important part of this, of their design to actually the Bangladesh, a lot of political parties and people have this concept of greater Bangladesh, where they want to change the demography of West Bengal and absorb the major parts of West Bengal into creating greater Bangladesh. So politically, economically, and also culturally, West Bengal sits at the precipice where there needs to be a detailed critical look at the demography of West Bengal and the eastern region, specifically West Bengal, because it has a very porous border, and it has already seen demography change on the border districts. We had also had Assam suffer the same thing, but thankfully now Assam has a BJP CM, and he is doing quite a good job to actually contain this uh, existential threat to India, to its border, and to its integrity. And West Bengal is lacking behind. So that's why we asked Devanidhi, because this data which he has created, calculated, and shared with us to actually give the gravity of the problem that we are staring at. And every one of you who are listening to this, everybody has to do its job. Whenever you see somebody who is doesn't look like a native Bengali person from West Bengal, you to report this. Never employ any illegal immigrants, specifically Bangladeshi Muslims and Rohingya Muslims, because they are a security threat to you, to your family, to your state, and to the nation of India. So now, Debanidhi, so now we know what has happened in the border districts, and as you mentioned that the root of the problems that West Bengal faces, and which is going to be faced by the greater India as well in the coming years and months, is going to be illegal infiltration, especially from the eastern borders. So how the
Yes.
politics, how the politics and other organs of administration are playing a role in, like how would I say, assisting these people to come to India, get illegal duplicate or false ID cards, and eat into the economy and the culture of India. So I'm going to share the next article that you have written. I'm going to share it right now, and then you can go ahead and just help us to understand the issue.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the one. This is the second article. Congress, CPM, TMC, the saga of infiltration. Yes. Yes. So we all know, let us look back at history first. We all know that the whole India didn't have a border security force as long as Nehru ji was our prime minister. Nehruji used to think that what is the requirement of a border security? Because it's the same country got divided into Pakistan and Bharat, but basically we are the same. So why we require a border security, etc., and all that? So till Nehruji was there was nothing called border security. And then after the Lal Bahadur Shastri ji became the prime minister immediately after Nehru ji, and then he said that Jai Jawan, Jai Kishan, Jai Kisan. So that was because that is the time when he took up the Green Revolution thing. So the food crisis of India also got solved thereafter. It was Lal Bahadur Shastri ji and Jai Jai Jawan. Then only we had our border security force came into being in 1965. So the that way the western border, because by that time the India faced attacks from the western side, from Pakistan, from China. So the western border got properly fenced and protected, the whole western border. But the eastern border of Bharat. It is around more than 4,000 kilometers long, eastern border. Complete eastern border is eastern border with different like Bhutan, China, and Nepal, Bhutan, China, and Bangladesh all together, and Myanmar all together. It is around a 4,000, more than 4,000 kilometers. And that full like border area, mostly except the China border and others, is mostly remained porous, unfenced. A large, huge, we can understand, a huge, it remained unfenced. And before 2014, before 2014, the NDA dispensation was elected by the people of India. This whole border, eastern border, remained porous and infiltration went on. We know that immediately after independence, it was Congress which was ruling West Bengal. We can't forget that Congress ruled West Bengal till 1967, from 1947 to
Seven,
1967 for the
70,
first year.
77, 77.
Nine, I would say 1967 because in 67 the United Front government
Oh,
came. Then again
okay, okay.
72 Congress came. Then from 77 it was Left Front. So 67 to 77 was a transition phase, I would say. But it was at a stretch Congress from 1947 to 67. First 20 years it was fully Congress ruled. And that time also infiltration, and we have to understand that what was the basis of infiltration, like from the, if we look at it from the historical perspective, then what happened, uh, the population exchange after partition, population exchange between West Pakistan and East Pakistan got completed. It was completed within 1948 only. It was almost completed fully. Nobody left, like all the Hindus and Sikhs from West Pakistan came to Bharat, and all the Muslims of this side went to Pakistan. So population exchange got completed on the western side. But on the eastern side, since the population of Hindus were much more in East Pakistan, population exchange was not complete. But Jawaharlal Nehru ji, the first Prime Minister of India, he didn't want the Hindus of Bengal or the East Bengal, the complete undivided Bengal, Hindus of Bengal to enter, come all come to the West Bengal and India, rest other parts, other states of India. Nehruji didn't perhaps want that, and that is why he signed the Nehru Liaquat Agreement. That time in 1950, if I remember the date correctly, it was April 7, 1950. He signed the agreement between then Prime Minister of Pakistan Liaquat Ali, and said that both the countries, both Pakistan and Bharat, look after the minorities properly and no further population exchange. So that was the halt point. And then what happened, many Muslims, if we look at the data, I also had to talk to Sangam Talks, and I had shown in detail that how Muslim number of Muslims first reduced and then increased in West Bengal again. So first the Muslims of West Bengal moved to Pakistan, but after the signing of Nehru Liaquat Agreement, they returned back to West Bengal. This is reverse migration of Muslims. Now you imagine, if I was a resident of West Bengal, and due to partition, if I'm a Muslim and I was resident of West Bengal, due to partition I go to I move to East Pakistan, and then I have some property there of the East Pakistani Hindus, the evacuee properties. I take control of some evacuee properties in East Pakistan, and then again, Nehru Liaquat Pact gets signed. I again return back to West Bengal and get a hold of my earlier property also. Means now I have properties on both the places. But when those Hindus which came back to, actually like transgression, migrated to West Bengal, and after signing of the Nehru Liaquat Agreement, they went back to East Pakistan. They didn't get hold on their property because Pakistan didn't abide by the agreement at all. They violated. So Hindus didn't get hold of their property in East Pakistan. But after 1950, when they again came back, this time they became illegal infiltrators. So that was the tragedy. The Nehru Liaquat agreement actually delegitimized the Hindus because the Hindus thought, okay, fine, then we will get back to our place and get our properties back. That didn't happen to them. Rather, they again had to come back, but this time they turned illegal infiltrators. But what happened to Muslims? They went to East Pakistan. They got hold of some properties in East Pakistan also, and then again came back to West Bengal. Reverse migration, and that's exactly what I have mentioned in my article as RODM, Return of Displaced Muslims. I have described that phenomenon as RODM. And how can you understand that RODM? We can clearly understand from the data many such. If you look at the number of like different assembly constituencies of West Bengal, you will see many constituencies didn't exist in 1951 first general election. The first election of West Bengal and Bharat happened in 1951. If you look at the 1951 election data, you will see many, it was 178 constituencies in 1951 West Bengal election. Many assemblies didn't exist at all. And then it existed later and started being represented by Muslims. This proves that the Muslims went off to East Pakistan and returned back, and that is why the assembly didn't exist in 1951 election, but they existed in 1957 election. You look at Baduria. Baduria was a part of Basirhat Assembly constituency. Baduria was no constituency in 1951, but look at 1957 data, then Baduria is a Muslim heavy constituency. What does it mean? It means the Muslims went to Pakistan and again came back. And that is why a new constituency was created. And so many such other, and I have written that in my, like, if you, so many, n number of, constituencies have been newly created and all are Muslim heavy constituencies. This is nothing but reflects infiltration, and the ground for infiltration was created by the Nehru Liaquat Agreement, because by the Nehru Liaquat Agreement, the displaced Muslims came back. Along with them came the infiltrators. Now imagine if I was earlier I was a Muslim living in, say, West Bengal. After partition, I go to East Pakistan and then again come back to my place. And when I come back to my place, along with me, I bring certain East Pakistani Muslims also. Now, the government of India as well as the government of West Bengal, they didn't stop the infiltrator Muslims. They didn't try to be vigilant that which person was an original resident of West Bengal and returning back due to Nehru Liaquat Agreement, and which person is infiltrating afresh. And here, the Hindus, when they went back to get a grip of their property in East Pakistan, and they had to come back because they didn't get the grip, because Pakistan didn't follow the Nehru Liaquat Agreement. So when they entered Bengal again, then they turned illegal infiltration, because they turned illegal infiltrators. Because if you look at if they read the Constitution of India, Article 5, Article 6, then you understand that beyond a particular date in July 1948, whosoever had entered India after July, a particular date of 1948, would be treated as an illegal infiltrator. So, after signing of Nehru Liaquat Agreement in 1950, when Hindus tried to enter, they also were treated as illegal infiltrators. But they entered India for saving their lives, while Muslims entered India for getting a new property. They have their property in Bangladesh. They have their ground in Bangladesh. They have their ground in East Pakistan. But they wanted to flourish more, and that's why they entered West Bengal and Assam and Tripura and Meghalaya and Mizoram and so many other states of Bharat. But Hindus also got treated equally with them. They were not equals. They were not equals, but Nehru Liaquat Agreement created the ground for this confusion. And that was utilized by the political ecosystem. Even you know what? If it's looking very interesting, Bhangor. Bhangor, we know today Bhangor is a Muslim heavy constituency, but Bhangor was Hindu represented till 1962. From 1947 till 1962, Bhangor was Muslim Hindu represented. But in 1962, Congress first fielded a Muslim candidate from Bhangor. This is solely because of reverse migration of Muslims. Before that, Bhangor was represented by Hindus. And this is Congress. And the same game has been played by CPM with even better clarity and better accuracy and precision. Before in 1977, three new constituencies were created: Canning Purbo, Amdanga, and if I remember, Chopra. All the constituencies are Muslim heavy, and Bum front, the left front fielded, Muslim candidates. Very peculiar. I'll share one data with you. Amdanga is in North 24 Parganas. Amdanga Assembly didn't exist till 1977. It first came to existence in 1977, and the left front CPM had fielded Hashim Abdul Halim. We all know, very famous man. Hashim Abdul Halim was the Speaker of West Bengal Assembly during the CPM rule, and I tried to find out where he belonged to, where he was born, his place of birth, his original ancestors. I didn't find anything in the public domain. Where from did he come at all? And because Chopra, if you look at Chopra, Uttar Dinajpur, we know the Hamidur Rahman. Recently, he said that in Muslim Rashtra, aisa to hota hi hai. Some girl was beaten by somebody called JCB or Tajimul or something like that. So he was beating a woman and a man together, and then Hamidur Rahman is MLA of Chopra. He said that in Muslim state, these things happen. These are common thing. So what was Chopra? Chopra didn't exist till 1977. Chopra came to existence in 1977, and the CPM fielded someone called Bacha Munshi. He came from Nilphamari. He's Bangladeshi. So these are, this is how both Delhi, I mean the power corridor at Delhi, ruled by Congress, and the power corridor in West Bengal, first ruled by Congress and then ruled by CPM and now ruled by TMC, all have colluded together for the infiltration industry to continue. Infiltration has paid them a huge amount of money. The people who have entered it paid a lump sum amount of money to the political masters, the political ecosystem holders. And from 2014, when the NDA dispensation came, the conflict began because the NDA dispensation first took up the matter seriously. And I'm a person who's, I'm taking interest into this such matters from 2017. Before that, I had no link with all such matters at all. So from 2017, I started studying, and I found out after 2021 election, I was utterly vocal that the main root cause is this, the infiltration. And it is absolutely a very well-oiled machinery, a very well-oiled industry it is. It is functioning absolutely in a very methodical manner, and that has to be broken. That is the main challenge for West Bengal.
So, thank you, Dipaniti. I think a lot of people talk about the issues of West Bengal. So, a lot of people say it is lack of industry. They say lack of education, lack of healthcare, lack of infrastructure. But when I was doing the research, okay, I found out, I read your articles, and I would request people to actually read the articles. It might take some time for you because a lot of data, a lot of effort has gone into write these articles. And they actually go deeper into the root cause of the problem, because lack of uh, good economy, lack of jobs, lack of infrastructure, lack of healthcare is a symptom of a root problem of illegal
Absolutely. It's a symptom.
illegal Yeah, in that way, like this addresses, because it's a very difficult issue to address, because since 1947 till 2014, this has been going on, aided by the political parties, both the
Yeah.
CPM, Congress now, and the TMC. Over the last seven decades, it has created a kind of beneficiary class, from politicians to bureaucrats,
Yes.
to labor suppliers, to factories, to business owners who get a cheaper labor. So it's a whole ecosystem which has actually built for over 7 decades. So you can't just break it right away, but it is an important work in that aspect, that okay, the root problem is being addressed. It should be addressed by more significant people who have more power and more political uh, heft in that. But still, in our effort is to actually educate the people, inform the people, that don't take our words, okay, as words of Gita, but read the article, listen to what
Yeah.
Divyanidhi is saying, and just do your own thinking. Just use your little
Yes.
brain cells, whichever left with, and just see what happens. And as an individual, we need to take responsibility, from the way we vote, the way we
Absolutely. Absolutely.
the way we vote is the most important part, because it's a political, administrative, bureaucratic machinery which has aided these things. So the first step is to, the way you vote people who can break this ecosystem, and also take individual responsibility, that I am not going to give money to businesses which are employing them. Like we correct, all over India, we have plumbers, electricians, and other labor kind of jobs which are done by these illegal infiltrators. And just because they charge little bit less, 100 rupees less, we employ them. You are endangering your life, your family, your property, everything, and also the future of your future generations, who are going to be impacted by these people, who are ultimately is going to break the demography. And I think in this book as well, in this book also, the author mentions that there are few districts in West Bengal where you have Islamic prayers in schools. Now, if you do not want that to happen to you and to your children, you need to make sure that you understand the issue, do more reading. We will also be having these programs to educate more people. So I would request everybody to just read, understand, and talk to people, consult people, ask your political leaders who are at the who are at the commissioner level, local political leaders, that okay, we don't want infiltrators in our state of West Bengal. So you have to be politically active, socially active, and also do not aid them with economics, with economic by employment. So, Divyanidhi, thank you very much
Thank you very
for
much.
this very informative, very detailed analysis and your articles. And we would request also the
Thank you.
guest people who have people are there to subscribe to our channel, share our content, and also read the articles by Divyanidhi. So, last words to you, Divyanidhi, before we say goodbye.
Yeah, I really appreciate whatever, like, your topic, that you have chosen such a topic of discussion, because I don't feel interested in joining media, because whenever they call me, I also say that hardcore political topics, like who is saying what, I'm in the lead discussing leaders words, I don't feel interested at all. But these are the real topics of interest, these are the real issues which people should really think on. And as you also doing a very appreciable job, that you're appealing to people to read such books, such articles, so that we can understand our real problem. Our real issue at this point of time is to secure our border. West Bengal is a border state, and a major issue this is. We have to secure our border. For that, we have to vote wisely. We have to vote such a party which will not actually, like, um, which will not compromise the national security. all other parties, if we see, all other parties are ready to accept infiltrators, because we have seen all the parties. We have seen Congress, we have seen CPM, we have seen TMC, all have accepted infiltrators, and all have really operated that well oiled industry of the infiltrators. The infiltrators can pay their money, enter here, and get all Indian IDs, Indian documents. It is now, and I also want to share before I finish. Uh, I don't know whether you believe it or not. Bengalis are living all everywhere in the world, and recently one of my family member, my member of my greater family, he went to do his passport in Mumbai, and the people, the Maharashtra is not accepting any other document like Aadhaar, PAN card, and voter card of West Bengal as documents. They say, give me your school living certificate, your uh, 10th standard certificate. That will only be an admissible document from Bengal. The documents of Bengal are not being accepted elsewhere in India, because the Bengal is already having a well-oiled machinery to issue wrong IDs, forged IDs to anybody who comes. So we have to vote very carefully. And before 2011 election, we have to remember, before 2011 elections, 11 new constituencies were born, and all the constituencies went to Muslim representatives. I have written that in my article. The election in which TMC won, all the 11 constituencies went to TMC, and all these constituencies were newly born constituencies, and all were Muslim represented. So you can understand the kind of growth of infiltrators, the growth of number of infiltrators. So we have to check that. I thank Bhupendra for having such a topic of discussion, and thank you all for giving me a patient hearing. Thank you very much.
Thank, thank you, Didi. I think we need to do this also in Bengali. So we'll have one more in Bengali as well because it is also required. So sometimes we'll do that as well.
Okay. Okay. I'll
Thank
leave.
you.
But thank you very much to you too, Bhupendra.
Jai
Yes.
Shri Ram. Vande Mataram.
Jai Shri Ram. Jai Shri Ram.